Okay, now we're going to graph this function y is equal to -2 sine of pi over 2x. So we're going to go through the same steps. The first thing we want to do is find the period. When we find the period, you have to have memorized that period is equal to 2 pi over b, and that's for every sine and cosine function. In this case, we have a b of pi over 2. And so we get some fun with fractions here. Period is equal to 2 pi over pi over 2. Remember, when we divide fractions, we rewrite the top fraction and then multiply by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. And so we can see these pi's will cancel out, which is nice, leaving us with just 4. So this function has a period of 4. Okay, let's go ahead and write that down here. And then let's split this into 4 equal parts. So we'll start here with 4, and 4 is pretty easy. You could probably just do 1, 2, 3, 4, but we'll follow our process. Half of 4 is 2, half of 2 is 1, and then 3/4 of 4 is 3. Okay, now we're going to look for our amplitude. The amplitude is just the absolute value of a, which is just 2. So remember, amplitude is always positive, and that's just by definition. And so let's use our marks, and we'll just put a 2 and -2 here. So we'll keep the marks the same spot. If you want to move them up to the next tick mark, that's fine, but we can just keep it there the same and label it. So this was going to stretch the graph out vertically. Okay, and then we have this negative sign here. So what does that negative do? The negative in front will reflect it over the x-axis. Or what you just like, it flips it. Okay, so instead of, what that'll look like is when we graph, when we sketch our curve, instead of, well, we'll start at the origin, but instead of going up, it's going to go down first, and then back up, and then up to the maximum, and down. And so our graph will look something like this. Our amplitude is 2. We already said that. Our domain is still all real numbers, -infinity to infinity. It's left to right. This graph goes forever. It just repeats the same cycle over and over again. And our range goes from -2 to +2. It's the bottom to top.